Okay, sitting up nice and tall, spine straight, shoulders soft, head floats. Feel the body you've been given this morning. Feel the breath in that body. Inhalations and exhalations are through the nose. The sit bones ground into the earth and the head floats. Feel the residue of the practice from yesterday. Feel sensations from last night's sleep. And just notice what you're noticing in this moment. Nothing else to do, nowhere else to be. Allow the sounds of the jungle and the sound of my voice to come to you. Just in the same way that you let the feelings and the thoughts percolate to the surface and reveal themselves to you. Here there's no effort, there's just observation. If your mind wanders, which is natural, just come back to the breath. Slowly tuck the chin and open the eyes, interlace the fingers, push forward, and then push up. As you push up, keep pushing the sit bones down. Inhale, breathe in, expand the side bodies. Exhale, soften and hug to the midline. Inhale one more time, expand, fill up the ribs. And then exhale, release, float the hands down. Gentle twist, the right hand comes behind you, the left hand comes to the knee, the opposite knee. Use your left hand on the right knee to pull you deeper. Keep that front elbow bent. Stay tall and just look to the side of the room. Inhale and exhale through the nose. Breathe softly. You need to get tall. You need to create this space in between each vertebra to create the rinsing. Turn the pelvic floor on, draw the navel in, lift yourself up a little more, and then release other side. The back hand pushes down into the ground to lift you up. The right hand on the left knee twists, pulls you deeper into the pose. Pelvic floor on, navel on, get tall. And then release, come back to the midline. up and over. Take the right hand down onto the ground, reach the left arm up and overhead. Again, it's the pushing down of the left hip as you reach the left arm up and over. Create space in the side body between the low rib and the top of that hip. Once you've set the architecture, once you've set the shape, then breathe into it deeper. Inhale and exhale through the nose. One more time. Inhale, breathe in, expand the ribs, and then release, come back. Other side. Use the arm. It's not how far down you go, it's how tall you can get on both side bodies. Both side bodies mirroring each other, trying to find length. Push the right hip down, push the right sit bone down, feel it ground. Inhale. Breathe in through the nose, and then release, let go. We'll do something called the lymph tapping or lymph drainage. The lymph is the system in your body that takes out all the toxins. So if you're stiff, or there's like lactic acid, or there's some sort of blockage in your body, the lymph removes all that waste and takes it and processes it out. But the lymph system doesn't have a heart, it doesn't have a pump, right? So your blood is getting pumped by the heart. The lymph you have to sort of stimulate by exercise or food or diaphragmatic breathing. So let's start. You need to do the same sequence every time in the exact same order. Next time maybe someone can film and then you can share it in the group. Rub underneath the left shoulder gently. And then tap underneath the left shoulder. And then push up and over, push up and over. None of this is supposed to hurt, so it shouldn't feel like tender or sore. Rub underneath the other shoulder, the right shoulder. Tap. And then push up and over. Over the collarbone on the left side, rub. Tap. Pull down, pull down, pull down. Other side, rub. So the first rubbing, like the first time, it's like gentle, it's for the fascia or the skin, and then you go a little deeper into the muscle, like maybe a centimeter under. And then tap, wake up the area. And then pull down, pull down, pull down. Behind, so you sort of have to do like the back half of the neck. Here is the pulse on the front, so you don't want to sort of mess with the rhythm of the heartbeat. You want to go between the ear and the shoulder, rub gently. Tap. And then pull down, pull down. Squeeze out like you're squeezing out like the last bit of toothpaste in the tube. Other side, rub. Tap. squeeze out, push down, push down, push down. Underneath the jaw, let's do both sides at the same time. There's lymph that flows to the teeth and like in the jaw and in the face. So rub underneath the jaw. My fingers are pointing like straight up to the sky. And then tap. And then push back and pull down. Push back and pull down. The side of the jaw, where the jaw meets the skull, rub both sides. And tap. Pull back and down into the neck. So you're trying to connect them all. Whichever one we just did, we're trying to connect it to the previous one. So it flows like in a channel, like in a river. Underneath the eyes and beside the nose is the next one. Rub. Tap. Pull, squeeze. Good. Temples, rub. Tap. Pull down and back, pull down and back, into the neck. And then the last spot is behind the head, the occipital ridge, where sort of there's that little meaty spot where the neck and the skull meet, rub there. Here I go a little harder. You don't have to be precise. It's not like an acupuncture point. Just get the general area and then tap a bit. Ooh. And then pull down, and then I like to pull forward. Pull down the neck until like C7 and then pull forward. And then release, drop the shoulders, close the eyes. I like my hands folded in the lap, but you can have the hands on the knees. Just make sure the elbows are as close to your torso as possible. Now breathe in. Inhale, deep breath in through the nose. Exhale through the nose. Inhale, breathe in. One more big breath, inhale. Okay, lie down flat on the ground. Also, because the lymph doesn't have a pump, the best thing to do is lie flat so it can sort of like settle. If it's blocked or if it's pooling anywhere, lying down is super nice. 3 breaths here. Inhale through the nose, fill the belly. Belly rises. As the belly rises, the low back also pushes into the earth. So 2 things happen simultaneously. The back body expands. Good. Exhale, release. You squeeze into the midline. Bring the energy back to the core. Inhale, fill up. Feel the imprint your body makes on the earth expanding. Feel supported and safe here when you're lying down flat. And when exhale, release. And then one more breath, your own pace, your own rhythm. Okay, bring the knees into the chest, squeeze in. Roll around a bit. If you have your hands like sort of up by your knees and you're squeezing in, you're sort of around the tailbone and the tailbone comes off the ground. If you put your hands in the middle of the shins and push down, you feel the low back expanding and widening. Flex the feet towards you, pull down, try and keep the knees together. Yeah, good. You feel the difference? Yeah. Okay, put the feet flat on the floor, feet are together, knees are together, windshield wipe side to side. Here I like my arms like out to the side in cactus or straight out. Clear your space so you're comfortable. Feet together, knees together. Just range of motion for the low back. And then take the feet wide as the mat and the knees go wide as well. Windshield wipe side to side. Let's everyone go the same direction to start. Everyone to the left and then to the right. So you're not, your windshield wipers aren't crashing into other people's windshield wipers. Okay, good. And then both knees to the left. Everyone take the knees to the left with the feet still wide. And then put your left foot on top of your right knee. Yeah, good. Feel the stretch in the low back. Nice. Keep the feet wide though. Not like eagle legs. Why me, Alma? Good. And then release other side. Reset the feet so the feet are wide. Both of the knees go over to the right and the right foot comes on top. Here I feel that, for me, I feel this most in the low back, but everyone feels it like sort of where they're tightest or like sort of the tightest link in the chain. You know, there's always the weakest link in the chain. For me, the stretch always occurs in the tightest link in the chain. Okay, come back to the middle. Keep the feet hip distance apart. The feet are flat on the floor. Tuck your tailbone back and forth. So explore the range of motion, just like cat-cow, but you're on the ground. Keep your bum like on the ground. Keep your low back on the ground. You're just rolling. So one is tucking the tailbone under, and then the other is arching the back as you roll onto the sit bones. Yeah, back and forth. This is north and south. North and south. Good. Arch the back, feel the space and feel the amount of movement between the first vertebra and the sacrum. What's the range of motion? Good. Tilt the pelvis all the way forward. Tilt the pelvis all the way back. Okay, now try and keep the feet planted and the knees up. Find a neutral pelvis and then go side to side. So Yeah, like you're rolling a marble. Keep the knees where they are. You're trying to isolate the hip movement. So roll a marble from the left hip over to the right hip, and then roll that marble back over to the other side. Yeah, good. You're lifting one hip and you're pushing the other hip into the ground. I lift the right hip up as I push the left hip down, and then switch. How high can you lift the hip while keeping the knees still? Tuck the chin, feet about hip distance apart. Yeah, good. Roll the marble side to side. Good. And then do a compass. So tuck the tailbone under, that's north. All the energy comes up to the north point. Then keep the knees where they are. Roll over onto the left hip is the east. Down onto the tailbone is the south. Over onto the right hip is the west. Keep rolling around that circle and make it as big as you can without like the sacrum coming off the ground. There's always one point of contact, whatever you're working. North, east, south, and west. Big circle. And then go the opposite direction. North, west, south, and east. Bring the right knee into the chest and squeeze it in. Extend the left leg straight and twist over to the side. The right knee going over to the left. Look up to the ceiling to not complicate through the neck. So keep everything in the shoulders and the neck soft and neutral. And bump the bottom hip back to the middle so that your spine remains straight on your mat. Especially if you have one of these mats with the lines on it, then keep your head in the middle of the mat and your bottom hip in the middle of the mat. Again, also try and keep the neck and the head straight and neutral. Stack, the right hip is north, the bottom hip is the south. Twist through the hips. Some people like there's always two perspectives. Some people try and get you to twist through the shoulders and get the shoulder on the ground. But for me, the biggest muscle is the hip muscle and is the low back. Here I want to focus on the biggest muscle and the tightest area. So I'm focusing low back in this posture. Move, this is the anchor, you move this away. You feel the difference? And then let this rest, don't hover it. Breathe into the side body. You've created a twist, but in the twist you've created space on the right side. The right rib is open. This is, I don't know, southwest or something. So now it's directly south and this is directly north. Makes sense? And then I like this down more. One more breath here. Inhale. Feet in. When this relaxes, then it lets go and there's more space to twist. Yeah, good. And I like this down. Super relaxed, chilling. Yeah. Okay, and then release other side. You're trying to make the create big space in the sacrum through the stretch of stacking the hips one on top of the other. And then you're trying to take the breath there to create even more space. Yeah, good. And you can put this like here. If like the inside of the knee touches the ground, it's like not comfortable. So it needs to touch the mat or like a block or something. So maybe even shift back a little more. Does that make sense to you? Yeah. Once you've set the shape, then the next layer is the breath. What's happening with your breath? Inhale, exhale through the nose. Where can you expand? Where can you take the breath? Where is it tight? The left side ribs, the left lung is spacious. Take the breath there. The sacrum and the hip are where the stretch is focused. Take the breath there. Release, come back to the middle. Hands underneath the bum, palms face down, head remains flat on the floor. It's 10 leg lifts. Legs go straight. 10 leg lifts to 90, and then lower down. You can do as many as you want, but I don't care about your abdominal muscles. What I'm interested in is how is the vertebra, the first vertebra and the sacrum in relationship? Like how well is that joint moving? How well is it oiled? How spacious is it? So get interested in that. Anytime I do this, the word that I would use is rusty. Right? I hope no one's using the word rusty. Like it should be like a free moving joint. Okay, release, come back in, knees in, squeeze in. Roll around a bit. Take your strap and put it on the right foot.